And today I'm going to be talking about my family history with anxiety and how I finally cured myself. Hey guys, if you read my book, then you know about my family history. My dad suffered from anxiety and panic attacks all of my childhood. Of course, my family didn't know like there was a term for it or a diagnosis or anything that we could do about it. We just thought dad just had some odd behavior and that this is just how dad was. And over the years I saw him get progressively worse and worse and worse, and he's in his late 60s now, and at a point where he doesn't leave the house, he doesn't receive phone calls, he doesn't even leave his bedroom. I was in my early 20s and running my own business, going to Northwestern University, and I found myself suddenly divorced and a single mother. I noticed that I started experiencing what was anxiety and panic attacks. I didn't know what they were. I thought there was something physically wrong with me, or I was like had some sort of a disease or something. And once it started happening enough and I started mentioning it to other people, I quickly was told that it sounded like anxiety and panic attacks, and obviously I had a lot on my plate at the time. I think that's just kind of like what triggered my symptom. I did start noticing certain correlations. My panic attacks or my anxiety would get worse when I was in a surrounding that was overly cluttered, when I was surrounded by lots of things, when I felt like I was losing control of my finances, or I had too much going on in my schedule. My mind was mentally cluttered. I was surrounded by things that didn't serve me. I was spending too much money and making too many decisions at the same time, and I started noticing those patterns, and some of those things my dad had, so I knew that I had to do something. So over the years I've done a huge overhaul of my life. For the last 5.5 years, if you've been following my journey on YouTube, then you've seen some of it, but these are my 3 biggest tips. Now some of these might sound a little extreme to you, and at the end of the day you have to decide if you need to make these necessary changes to have a happy, purposeful life full of sanity and love, peace, or do you want to just continue living the way that you're living? So my top 3 changes that I made: number 1, get rid of everything that doesn't serve a purpose in your life. I mean, downsize. Become a minimalist. Become an extreme minimalist if that's what it takes. And yes, you're going to do it in layers. I did it in layers. I didn't wake up one day and say, okay, I'm gonna get rid of everything. I did it in layers, and the more I got rid of, the more happier I felt, the more at peace I felt, the less anxious I felt. I can honestly say I feel completely cured of my anxiety by just following these 3 tips. Number 2, get rid of people that don't serve you, that don't bring any joy to your life, that are just a mental drain. And unfortunately, some of those people were family members for me, but I can't be ill just because I'm tied to somebody through DNA or through marriage. Like, I'm not that person that can put up a false face and just, I mean, I can be nice, but I can't like let that be a part of my daily life. I just can't live that way. And so I decided to part ways with some of those friendships and relationships, and I have never looked back. I've never been happier. And so that's what it takes. That's what it takes. Number 3, get control of your finances. Stop shopping. Stop buying random things. Invest in the stock market. Invest in real estate. Live below your means. Gain control. Once I had that control of not only my time, my belongings, my home, my social life, and my money, there is no anxiety. Like, what anxiety? What panic attacks? Like, and so what were some of the signs that I knew change needed to be made? Sign number 1. Anytime I would walk into a mall or a overly crowded department store, I would instantly feel that anxiety and panic coming, and I would want to run. Like, I would go there to buy something and I would just come home empty-handed. And I decided that I was going to start doing all of my shopping online. And shopping no longer became like a social activity for me. I would go online, filter the website according to what I needed. So if I was going to buy a top, then I only was looking at tops. Like, I wouldn't even be looking at like dresses or pants. Like, I couldn't deal with that. I would just filter it, buy the top, get out of the website, done. It gets delivered. Like, I could not deal with being in a cluttered space. That was one sign. Sign number too. Anytime I had an event or a social engagement to go to where I was going to be meeting people or doing things that did not serve me, did not bring me joy, I was going to be in a situation where there was a lot of gossiping going on or anything that just didn't agree with my moral values, I would start having major anxiety before that event. I just wouldn't want to go. And that was a big sign for me that, you know what, life is too short to be wasting on things that don't serve a purpose in my life. And I'd rather just be that person that calls and cancels than comes up and it's like bad company for the rest of the night. Wouldn't you rather just have somebody cancel if they didn't want to come? And so I just started saying no thank you, thanks for thinking of me. And eventually those people stopped inviting me, and then it was like a win-win because now I don't have to go and I don't have to say no. Sign number 3, anytime my house was cluttered or I had like things spread out, I would just not be able to focus on my work. And my work, my YouTube, my life coaching, my writing, like that is what brings me joy. If I can't focus on that because there's stuff around me, that's just not going to work for me. And so we downsized. If you guys have been following my journey, my family's journey to minimalism, we got rid of, at this point, probably around 70% of our belongings, and there's still more things that we're looking to get rid of. Like, we're not done. And guess what? We still have more than what we need. We're never like at a point where we're like, oh, missed that. Never. I can't even remember more than half of the stuff I got rid of. So obviously I didn't need most of it. And so that was another sign that if your surroundings are preventing you from living the life that you need to live, what's the point of working for stuff that doesn't work for you? It doesn't make any sense. So those are my tips and my journey. I hope you guys found this helpful. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and share your tips. Are you suffering from anxiety? Do you have any tips on how to overcome anxiety? I would love to hear from you guys. I'll catch you later. Bye.